Hello everyone, welcome back to another new lesson with Jafar Bhaiya, and in today's lesson I'll be talking about OIETC or ELLT speaking test, and I'm going to show you step by step how your speaking test will be conducted. Well, first of all, I'm going to show you how much time there will be for ELLT speaking test. Secondly, I'm going to talk about how your speaking test will be conducted, and finally I'll be talking about how many parts there will be. So dear candidates, without further ado, now let's get started. Well, as you can see, this is the details for ELLT speaking test. So the first thing is all about the duration, and the time will be for 14 to 15 minutes time to complete your ELLT speaking test. And secondly, you can see that the type, your ELLT speaking test will be conducted over online with a live examiner. There will be an examiner with you over video conference, and your examiner will be asking you the questions and you have to give the answers, and this is how your speaking will be conducted over online. Number 3 is the parts. You can see that we will have overall 3 parts here. So let's have a look at the parts. Number 1 is the part 1, which is called the basic questions. For 4 to 5 minutes time there will be. That means in the part 1 you'll be given 4 to 5 minutes time, and your examiner will ask you some basic questions during that time, and you have to give those answers properly. Secondly, that's called part 2, and which is descriptive part, and this is very important for you guys if you would like to get a good score in the ELLT speaking test. And the time will be for 2 to 4 minutes time overall, and during that time you'll be given a topic. You have to speak for that topic for nearly 3 minutes, and rest of the 1 minute you can take that time to prepare yourself. And finally, this is the part 3, and that's called discussion part, and the time will be for 5 to 6 minutes time, and all the questions will be related to your part 2 and other related topics. So now I'm going to show you the details of the speaking part 1, like how your speaking part 1 will be, and secondly I'll go for speaking part 2, and thirdly I'll go for speaking part 3. So before going there, I would like to inform you about one thing, that we are going to launch online batch for ELLT. So if you would like to join with us over online, please contact us with our WhatsApp number, which is given on the screen. Okay, so now let's have a look at the speaking part 1. Well, your examiner is going to ask you 2 types of questions here. Number 1, about yourself, like your name, profession, living place, and so on. That means in the speaking part 1, your examiner will ask you 2 types of the question. So the first of all, your examiner will ask you some questions related to your name, your profession, living place, and so on. Number 2 is about some familiar topics like reading books, hobbies, listening to music, technological gadgets, and etc. That means in the part 2, in the second phase, your examiner will ask you some basic questions related to the familiar topics. It might be watching movies, it might be like, morning walk, it might be physical exercise. This kind of topics will be asked in your speaking part 1. So this is how your speaking part will be conducted. So you can say that all the questions will be related to our day-to-day life. But one thing you guys have to remember, that if you would like to very well, or if you would like to get a good score in the ELLT speaking test, you definitely have to give some good answers with some good vocabularies along with some amazing structures. Alright, so this is the part 1, and this is how your speaking part 1 will be conducted. Alright, now let's have a look at the speaking part 2. This is very crucial for you if you would like to enhance your score for the ELLT speaking test. So your examiner is going to give you a topic to talk about for nearly 2 to 3 minutes time, and you'll be given some time to think about the topic that you are going to speak about. Well, your speaking part 2 is very important for you for enhancing your ELLT speaking score. So here you'll be given like a topic, and you'll be given some time to think about the topic, then you have to speak for 2 to 3 minutes. So for most of the candidates, it's very hard to speak for 2 to 3 minutes based on a specific topic. So what we are going to do in our online course, we are going to provide you a complete format, and this format is going to help you to speak about any kind of topics more than 2 to 3 minutes. So dear candidates, those who are really struggling with the ELLT speaking test, please contact with us now and join us over online and get your desired score. Alright, now let's have a look at the speaking part 3. Well, speaking part 3 will be a bit different. In this part, your examiner will ask you around 5 to 6 questions related to the part 2 and your previous exams, like your writing. So most of you may think that maybe in the speaking part 3 all the questions will be related to the part 2, but this is not the case actually. In the part 3, your examiner will ask you some questions. Some of them will be related to the part 2 and some of them might be related to your writing test, I mean essay task actually. Okay, and you have to give the answer in detail along with some examples. So this is the part 3 where you have to think about the examples as well, and giving example in the part 3 can help you to extend your answers, because if you don't include the examples, it means that you are going to be limited with your speaking. But when we can give some examples with our answer, it means that we can give a lot of information to our examiner and our answers will be much more extended. So if you give your answers like this way, I hope that you can get a decent score in your ELLT speaking test. So I would like to suggest all of you, before sitting the ELLT test, please join us over online and do our special program with me. It's Jafar Bhuya, and you can get your all the lessons related to the ELLT test. So if you join in our online course, you'll get to know about the speaking topics, like what kind of topics you might get in your speaking test. Secondly, you'll get the format which will help you to enhance your score. Thirdly, you can get a lot of practice questions which might be common in your speaking test. So dear candidates, those who are looking for sitting for the ELLT test, please try to join with us over online before giving your exam. Dear candidates, that's all about today's session, and if you guys have any question, please let me know in the comment box and I'll try to give the answer in the comment box as soon as possible. So that's all about today. But before ending the session, I would like to inform you that if you would like to join us over online, please contact with our WhatsApp number which is given over there. So dear candidates, that's all about today, and hope to see you guys in my next videos. So till then, be happy. Allah Hafiz.